Ricky Kid here, folks, with Iron Resilience. It's Fit Friday, and as promised, I said I will come back to you. This time, we're not talking about physically fit, or rather being physically fit, but we're talking about being spiritually fit. And that's important. You know, a lot of people ask all the time, man, how did you get through it? Or what was the things that you held on to? Or what was some of the key things that you did? And they also say, boy, you look like you fit. Yeah, maybe physically, but was I fit emotionally, mentally, financially, or what we're talking about today, spiritually? And before I kind of get off into what I believe it takes to be spiritually fit and to summons your resilience, I want to read a quick word from the Bible. It's out of 2 Timothy 2. 2 Timothy 1:7. And it reads, it says, "For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind." Because God has not given us a spirit of fear in today's times, which everybody seems to replace faith with fear, but of love, most importantly, a sound mind. You know, another thing that people often say is, brother, you came home and you seem stable. You almost seem like you haven't left. You don't have those prison things. They call it being institutionalized. And a part of that is because I focused on a sound mind. Because I focused on being spiritually fit. Yeah, I worked out. And in a few weeks, we're going to circle back and we're going to get off into some of that again, what it takes to be physically fit. But before doing that, we're going to touch on emotional, mental, financial, and back again today, what it takes to be spiritually fit. So for me, it was Christ. I feel like Christ is the center of my life. For me. So one of the first things I had to do to make sure that I had my mind right was get anchored in God. And I'm going to tell you, just being quite frank and honest with you, when I wasn't doing that, I was wobbling. I was wobbling all over the place. I mean, I was worrying. Even when it looked like I wasn't worrying, I was worrying. I was stressing. I had anxiety. All of that was taking place. All alone, feeling like I had to do it all alone. But I didn't. I didn't have to do it all alone. But for years, y'all, I'm just being real with you. I walked through that prison looking like I had it together, but I was all falling apart. I was all falling apart until I realized that, you know what? And then I'm going to the gym. I'm going to the gym. I'm lifting weights. I'm lifting almost everything in the weight pit. And I'm thinking, you know what? I'm fit. I'm ready. I'm ready for what? You know, in prison, you kind of gotta be ready. You got to do calisthenics, some of those. That's because it gets your cardio up. You got to jog a little bit. You got to hit the treadmill, or you got to hit the elliptical. You want to stay fit because you're in close quarters. And you can get into it with your cellmate at any given time. And the police is gone because it's locked down and it's in the middle of the night. And y'all locked in that, and nobody's leaving that door. And if y'all get into it, you got to have the strength, stamina, or win to be able to win. Or they may come by 2 or 3 hours later and find you unconscious. So one of the things that was extremely important for a lot of us was staying physically fit. We made that our priority. But one thing that I noticed that a lot of individuals let go or didn't pay much attention to was being spiritually fit. Not just out there, or rather not just in there, but out here as well. And again, I'm just being real, being totally transparent. How did he make it? How did you make it? How did you come out landing on your feet or feeling like you, man, your spirit, when you walk in the room, your bubbly smile, you better, you not bitter. Why? Why is that? Because I had a sound mind and I replaced fear with faith. And I just wanted to be able to share that with you today on Fit Friday, to have a solid spiritual mindset. Now listen, I know everybody ain't going to be a Christian. Some of y'all may be Muslim, and all praise is due to Allah for you. Some of you may not even believe in God, and that's fine too, if that's for you. But what I'm saying, you're going to have to find your center. One thing you can't tell me is that you're not a spirit individual. You can't tell me that. You might say you're not religious or you don't belong to a particular religious set, but we all spirit beings. We are spirit beings, and I'll take that argument up with anybody on any given day. So when I talk about being spiritually fit, whatever that is for you, brother, if it's sitting by a cross, sister, if it's sitting by a rock, if you find your spirituality sitting by a rock and water, that's fine too. I'm just talking about being spiritually fit to be able to withstand difficulty, devastation, and situations like we're facing with COVID-19. So people are wondering, just being real with you, it hurts. Yeah, I cry every day. I cried this morning. In my meditation, I cried this morning. Because I'm seeing everybody hurt and I'm seeing the devastation just across the board. But as for me and my vessel, I'm stable-minded. I'm not saying I'm not hurting. I'm not saying I ain't took no financial hits along with everybody else, but I'm spiritually fit to withstand. And I'm asking you today, are you spiritually fit to withstand? Are you? Ask yourself the question. The second thing is, do you know what it takes to be spiritually fit to withstand? And I gave you some examples. A lot of us understand it simple and plain. I do for myself. It's the word for me. It's this Bible for me. But I like rocks and water too. I like trail walks and being at one with nature too. So if it ain't the Bible for you, let it be rocks and waters. Let it be nature. Let it be trail walks. But let it be a fit mind that's spiritual. Because it will serve as an anchor. And I talk about that in key number 1, get anchored. It will serve as an anchor to keep you from floating away. That's what it'll do. I promise you, folks. I promise you that. It's going to serve. Find your spirit space and get spiritually fit. We might be halfway out of this, maybe. But if you live long enough, another difficulty and challenge is going to show up in your life. Even for me. Even for me, and you're going to want to be spiritually fit. So I went through 23 years of a wrongful conviction, came out 7 months later, faced the crisis with you all. We all face this crisis together. Global crisis. And then we're going to get past it. I can assure you that too. And then we're going to get back to some sense of normalcy or what they may consider a new norm. But don't you think for 1 minute that a difficult situation or a challenge will not beset you. It will. And the next time it do, because it caught a lot of us off guard and knocked a lot of us off our feet, you don't want to do that. You don't want to do that next time, folks. You want to be spiritually fit. So again, whether that's Christ, whether that's Allah, whether that's Buddha, whether that's water in the rock, whether that's the birds and the bees and the trail and the trees, wherever it is you find your center, your spirit man or your spirit woman or your spirit of peace, connect with it. Connect with it so you can be spiritually fit next time, folks. That's it for Fit Friday. I just wanted to share a little piece, a little nugget with you that I believe that'll get you a long way right now and something you can dig in your toolbox for a little bit later. God bless you. Stay safe. And please, please follow the CDC guidelines.